Hello, my name is Megan Judy, and I will be explaining operant conditioning and how I use that in my essay. So basically in my essay, I use the example of a dog and receiving a treat or praise, which is positive reinforcement. So first, let me explain what operant conditioning is. Operant conditioning is behavior influenced by consequences that follow it. So basically, your behavior is either reinforced or punished. Now, there's two types of punishment and there's two types of reinforcement. There's positive and negative punishment, and then there's positive and negative reinforcement. Basically, positive reinforcement would be anything that you add to a situation to make sure that the behavior continues. So let's say you give a dog a treat, like my example in my essay. When you give a dog a treat, that is you positively reinforcing their behavior, causing them to continue that behavior. So hence the dog going outside continuously to use the bathroom because you continuously reward that behavior. Next up is negative reinforcement. So basically, negative reinforcement is removing a stimulus so that the same behavior or good behavior comes after. Or in other words, subtracting or removing a stimulus to strengthen a response, to put it in better words. Basically, in my essay, I use the example of taking an aspirin when you have a headache. Now, if I word this differently, it becomes negative reinforcement. So after I took an aspirin, my headache went away. So the thing that got taken away out of the equation is the headache because I took the aspirin. And of course, lastly would be positive and negative punishment. Basically in my essay again, I use the example for positive punishment was, well, basically positive punishment is adding a stimulus so that a behavior no longer occurs. I use the example of a teenager sneaking out, basically. You know, they keep sneaking out. Their parents are like, okay, we've had enough. We have to do something so that they don't keep sneaking out. So what does the parent do? They put a sensor on their window so that every time they try and sneak out and they open the window, ding, 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 a little notification goes to the parents' phones, and now they know that you've been trying to sneak out. So they do that to stop the behavior of sneaking out, and the person sneaking out, or the teenager or whatever sneaking out, now is being conditioned to learn, let me stop sneaking out because my parents are going to find out. And lastly, but definitely not least, because this one is one that is used very often, negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement is removing a stimulus so that a behavior no longer occurs. And I gave the example of personally me, when my parents ground me. So when my mom takes my phone, she knows that that is going to teach me that whenever I behave a certain way that she deems unacceptable, that I will learn not to do those behaviors because she's taking away something I have a positive attachment to. So that will teach me not to behave that way or say the things that I'm saying. Or yeah, that's basically the examples that I use for operant conditioning and how I've come to understand it in my life and other people's lives.